It's his first shot of the afternoon, and the Lakers lead by 6.
Again, you see the mindset. Everything so far for the Lakers has been in the paint towards the rim, not settling on the perimeter, attacking the smaller Thunder team.
Early timeout from Scott Brooks and the Thunder. 6 straight points by the Lakers.
And Brian, one-on-one patience. There's times when we see a fadeaway shot in this situation. Fresh legs, puts pressure on the defense, the up and under, big-time post move. Lakers rolling early.
The City Thunder. Again, last year just 23 wins, and they turned around this year 50-32. Durant, as we mentioned, the youngest scoring champ, but he had some help with Westbrook and Jeff Green in their defense. 4 starters played in all 82 games. You rarely see that, but they are the youngest team in the league. And they have one of the youngest head coaches, Scott Brooks, who's one of the favorites to win Coach of the Year. Foul called on Artest. Artest saying, wait a minute, the ball knocked against my chest as he picks up his first.
This is pretty good defense by Artest. As a swing move made by Durant, the basketball hits the chest of Artest, so makes the case. I'd much rather see them have him on the move where he catches it away from the body, similar to that. Set a screen, get him some airspace, and then he's able to knock down shots. Here's his quick release.
Well, and Artest is very good one-on-one. If it's just starting from a stationary position, you have to move that big body of his and make him negotiate screens.
He is still one of the best defenders in the league. As Fisher throws up a wild shot trying to draw a foul. Here comes Westbrook. Here's where they're tough in transition. Green gets inside, the former Georgetown star, able to put it in. Green, the 3rd leading scorer at 15 a game during the regular season. He's one of those guys, you know, every team has one. If he plays really well, it's tough to beat them. As Fisher misses, it's kind of like Lamar Odom with the Lakers. If he has a big game, they rarely lose.
I love what I see Oklahoma City doing, getting around and fronting the post and trying to make the post entry catch difficult.
Bryant shot short and takes it away from Durant, goes uncontested. Kobe Bryant playing with his assortment of injuries between the right knee and the left ankle, and of course the broken right index finger, which he's had since early December. Green goes at Gasol, comes up short, Bynum the rebound. Kobe Bryant didn't play the last 2 games as Fisher gets inside. Bodies throwing on the floor there at Fisher's first field goal, and all 5 starters have scored.
Oh, and Andrew Bynum just threw a forearm shiver right at Jeff Green.
Green smiling as he comes up the floor. Officials didn't see it. Kristich, he can shoot. Although he's been banged up recently, missed 4 of the last 5 games with a right knee contusion. Gasol guarded by Green. Big height advantage there for Pau Gasol. Cephalosha trying to help out. Does a good job. Excellent defense there, although Gasol thought he got hit.
And Gasol's got to give that up on the help by Cephalosha. Throw it out to Bynum. Let Bryant let him do his thing or repost it.
Westbrook. And point blank range. Durant now on Bryant on the switch. Bryant lobs it in. Kristich does a good job tipping it. First Laker turnover. Westbrook to the basket. This is Durant right there for the foul.
That'll be the ideal situation for the Thunder. Pushing the basketball in transition off of stops. You want to force this Laker team to play transition defense.
And a foul away from the ball. Goes to the timeout. Timeout, says Phil Jackson. So we'll take a break. We've already seen Andrew Bynum and the difference he can make. Got a couple of early buckets and some good defense as well.
Well, protecting the basket is critical here. Great timing by Bynum. His size is so important. And then there's a little dust up here. Bynum sizing Jeff Green up. And I don't know how that goes undetected.
Bynum certainly getting away with that one. Wide open there. Lakers by 4 here in the first. Lakers with a 4-point lead here in the first. The key matchup, Ron Artest and Kevin Durant. And so far, Artest using his usual physical presence to try and stop the leading scorer.
When you talk about how are you going to get Durant off, you're not going to do it stationary. Ron Artest, the ability to keep a body on you and then fight. Does a good job, body and then hand, extended, stays connected with the offensive threat. That's poor defense there, but because of the pressure early on, and then this is just very predictable offense. This is when Artest is at his best. When he's stationary and is one-on-one, here's what you have to do. Move without the basketball, get a screen, create some airspace, and then it's either catch and shoot, or now he's running at you where you can use your scoring, your size, and your ability.
But Durant is not one that shies away from contact. He initiates it, not afraid of it all. Oh, nice pass. Odom took us all. Odom back in that sixth-man role, which has been so valuable for the Lakers. Have to start quite a bit this season with injuries to Bynum late, this all early. Westbrook and James Harden, the lefty, can't connect. And Gasol with the rebound.
And Mike, you were talking about Phil Jackson being fined because he said that Durant was being treated like a superstar. You know why? Because he is a superstar. And superstars know how to get to the free throw line. They create contact. And because of their immense talent, people are usually overwhelmed by that talent and end up fouling.
Well, it's always fun during the playoffs. Phil Jackson likes to throw out different things. He's done it throughout his career. You've had to deal with it when you were
Yeah, but it's over. That part, I think his coaching genius is underrated, but his head game usage is overrated. That never had an impact on the series. It was always, unfortunately, you had to deal with his team's defense and Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and Pau Gasol, all those guys. It wasn't the head game.
As Derek Fisher knocks down the three, lead is up to 9. Green will put up a 3. And a foul away from the ball as Odom knocked down Collison, who set the screen. Meanwhile, we asked Durant about Phil Jackson's comments that he was fined a $35 grand for, and here's Durant's response.
I feel honored and humble for Phil Jackson to even, recognize me. I came a long way in this league, and for a great coach like that won 10 rings and that coached some of the greatest players ever, to say something like that about me, I feel very honored. So, obviously, I guess I'm doing something right. I just got to continue to keep doing it.
Does that 3 right as well. Knocks down a 3. Just has such maturity, Mark, for a kid that's just 21 years old.
Great maturity, but I tell you what, that's called fake hustle. Tell me the truth. Let's go to the movies, let's go to the restaurant, tell me how you really feel. The bottom line is, if I'm Kevin Durant, I say, hey, I've seen this movie before. I'm not worried about that. I'm going out and playing ball.
Fisher again, back-to-back threes for Fisher. He missed his first 4 shots, and then comes back, but it's 22-13.
The last possession, Bryant was upset because they did not get him the basketball on the block. The reason why it's not about scoring, it's good stuff come off.
Offensive foul. Collison.
Well, this is good. He catches and goes before Artest can set his feet and get his body on him, and that's where you can use your agility and your skills. A big-time step-back 3.
The agility at his size. Listen to 6'9". He always looks taller to me when you see him in person. Ryan has Harden, the rookie from Arizona State, on in. Artest spotting up from the corner. Rebound, Gasol.
And that's the problem when you get in full rotation. As Artest knocks down the 3, you get into full rotation. Collison's closing out to the corner. Jumper, Gasol just overwhelms Jeff Green with size on the rebound.
Lakers 3 of 5 from downtown. Durant soft touch won't go. Odom pulls out the rebound. Lakers during the season 24th in three-point shooting. Their shooting was a disappointment as Odom falls down. And he calls a timeout. Odom saying, hey, wait a minute, I got tripped. But instead, a timeout called. And we'll take a break. Phil Jackson did not want that timeout. But he does like his team's start. They struggled down the end of the regular season. Injuries are a big part of it. But Some at times ineffective play. Often injuries are a big part of it. But some at times ineffective play. Off to a good start here in game one. 12-point lead. Day 2 of the 2010 NBA playoffs. 3 games later tonight on TNT. Charlotte and Orlando, San Antonio and Dallas, Portland and Phoenix. Then NBA TV Tuesday, a couple of game 2s from Atlanta and Phoenix. ESPN Friday, game 3 in Miami and San Antonio. And ABC next Sunday, game 4, Boston, Miami, Cleveland and Chicago. Playoffs underway. All right, from day one, what anything stick out to you?
For me, it's just how good Cleveland is when healthy. I just think they're the best team, and I really don't even think it's that close.
Bulls hung tough after falling behind big early as Bryant turns, shoots, fires, and it's 27-13.
And you see, as soon as Harden got into the ball game, Bryant went to the block. The offense has been ran, basically post up Bryant and stuff off with whether he is scoring or finding guys off of double team and trying to rotate.
Durant fires across. Green on the drive, gets inside. I think Gasol may have gotten a piece of it. Odom kicks it back out. Bryant fires away. And a loose ball foul call on Jordan Farmar over the back of Eric Maynard. Let's listen to a Phil Jackson recent huddle.
Come on now, guys. They got 10 points on 2 free throws, 4 points on offensive rebounds, 2 points on a direct fast break. 10 of their points are directly related to that.
Maynard trying to jam it in there. Out of bounds. They are not shooting well right now, Oklahoma City. Just 5 for 18.
And Mike, if I was talking about this with Mark before the game, if I was Scott Brooks, I would really think about putting Durant on Bryant. One, as he steps out of bounds on the inbounds. One, to put pressure on Bryant so he can't just walk people into the post. As Durant, I'm not sure about that.
I think you have to have both feet in before you can get the ball.
I would disagree with that, but we'll talk about that later. But secondary, I think putting him on Bryant would put him in a cross-match situation at the other end where Bryant would have to guard him and expend energy.
Offensive foul. Jordan Farmar quickly picks up 2. And there's Scotty Brooks shouting out instructions. Brooks played 11 years in the league for 7 different teams. Kind of a journeyman player. We'll then get into the coaching aspect. He's been an assistant in Sacramento as Durant fires it away. Collison. They say no basket. They'll review it. As Collison, I think, agrees with the call. Let's take a quick peek. Durant had to fire it away. Nope, that's the right call. As Oklahoma City in their playoff debut have their lowest amount of points in the first quarter all season for them. They shoot just 5 of 19 from the field. Kobe Bryant, the Lakers, impressive in the opening period.
Center. Coach, you guys ended that quarter on the wrong end of a 17-5 run. What changed during that period?
Well, first of all, defensively, we're letting them get to their spots. We're not challenging them. We're not contesting their shots, and they're getting open shots. We got to make them miss. And offensively, too much standing. We got to make them move.
First playoff experience for a lot of your guys. How much does that factor in first quarter?
Well, there's no doubt all of our guys are excited. They love the opportunity that they're getting. But we just got to relax and make some of the shots.
All right, thank you for your time. Mike.
They shot just 5 of 19, but they really are a young team. 5 of their top 7 players making their playoff debuts. 4 of their top 7 players are 21 and under. This team, again, the youngest team in the NBA with the least playoff experience going up against the team with the most playoff experience. Bynum. Collison stays with them nicely.
And their general manager is only 33. Sam Presti's done a magnificent job assembling this roster of talent.
Ball knocked out of bounds in a short time. That's what's amazing about the turnaround. There have been bigger turnarounds 27 wins more than last year. But most of the time it's because a great player's been added. They didn't add any great players. All their players just got a lot better. Shannon Brown's first shot off the bench.
I like what Phil Jackson is doing, keeping Ron Artest in the ball game, matching him up with Kevin Durant. So when Durant takes a blow, that's when Artest does. You don't want to allow a great scorer to get going.
Foul on Shannon Brown, trying to fight through the screen.
And I agree with you, Mark. I always felt when either competing against him or watching him, Phil Jackson, come playoff time, was so very good at getting the matchups he wanted and then staying with them. And he was not afraid of using different players as Collison finishes at the rim for a specific series to take advantage of a specific matchup he wanted to see.
Durant with a pretty pass to Collison. Lakers by 14, opening minute here in the second period. Lakers looking for Bynum. All poked away. Good hustle from Collison. But he was out of bounds when he touched it, so Laker ball with 7 on the shot clock. These teams played 4 times during the regular season. Lakers won 3 of them. The last one, though, in late March in Oklahoma City. The Thunder with a very impressive big win. And another of the games went to overtime. The 3 of the 4 games were very close. But a different ball game here in the postseason. Odom blocked from behind. Offensive foul. Collison, who was second in the NBA and drawing offensive charges, gets one right there.
And that's what you need. You need basket protection to be a great defensive team. If you don't have shot blocking, then you have to have bigs like Collison who will step in front and take the charge.
So Serge Ibaka, a rookie from the Congo, in as well. Another one of the young players for this Thunder team. Durant trying to find an opening. Such a smooth jump shot.
And that's where the poise come into effect. Catches the basketball. Artest catches up. Very patient. Comes off the screen and creates an opening.
Nice feed from Collison, or steal from Collison. Very good defensive player off the bench. Nice feed inside. Maynard and Ibaka with his first bucket. It's back to 10. 6 straight points for Oklahoma City. Yeah, that's what Kevin Durant was telling us before the game. What he was proud of his team all season when they went through a stretch and weren't playing well, they always bounce back. Well, they started off slowly here, trying to bounce back right now.
Well, they're working him off staggers to try to take advantage of his quickness. Here, good job by Artest. Poor block, good screen by Collison. Opens up that shooting pocket, and Durant knocked it in.
It's amazing what knocking down shots will do. 5 of 19 in the first. They're 3 for 3 in the second.
What's up? Stuart Scott in the studio. Here's the Wendy's real deal performer. Last night, Carmelo Anthony went off a career playoff high, 42 points, 18 of 25 from the field. The Nuggets won game 1 of their series against the Jazz, 126-113. Once again, Carmelo Anthony, your Wendy's real deal performer. Guys.
Stewart, 10-point lead for the Lakers. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the second. Let's take a look at our Avatar DVD Blu-ray playoff journey. A long playoff journey started yesterday. Denver winning game 1 at home against Utah. 2 more games tonight. That Dallas-San Antonio series got a chance to be something terrific, right?
No question. I can't believe Avatar's already out on DVD. They get that stuff out quick now, don't they?
How do you go from Dallas, San Antonio to you can't believe about Avatar being on DVD so quick?
I just can't. I thought it was still in the theaters.
He's a multitasking. Did you see it in the theater?
No, it's not my thing, but
okay.
I heard it was unbelievable.
Farmar misses. Ibaka the rebound. 4 bench players right in there for Oklahoma City right now. Green the lone starter.
And to me, I like this. Going into the post to Green. Good play by Farmar to steal the entry pass.
Farmar has been bothered by a hamstring injury. He was listed as questionable before the game. Ryan. Green all over him. Gasol tips it, lost it, knocked out of bounds. Thunder ball. Oklahoma City down the stretch of the regular season. They lost 4 of their last 6. They were in the 6th spot in the West, but went 2-4 down the stretch and fell to 8. Still a tremendous regular season. But lost it. And Bryant may have stripped it. Ibaka, a terrific athlete.
He's a hard-playing guy, too.
The high motor, as they say, only plays at 1 speed. Bryant fakes, hesitates, gets inside, and draws the foul. Kobe Bryant back to the line.
You see the mindset, wide open jump shot, nothing wrong if he takes it. Instead, puts the ball on the floor and attacks the paint area. That's how you get your scoring back. Force the issue and get to the free throw line.
You know what I liked about it? Collison's already taken 2 charges. So instead of trying to bowl him over, he uses body control to slide by Collison and get himself to the free throw line. That's excellent body control.
Well, Kobe Bryant's been an interesting year for Bryant. He's had some terrific things. Past Jerry West become the all-time scorer in Laker history. And all of his 5 or 6 game-winning jump shots. Signed that 3-year contract extension. Another great year at 27 points a game, but he finally missed a game with the ankle and the knee. Missed 9 games this year. And even admitted down the stretch his mano was short, that he didn't have elevation on his jump shot. That's why he sat out the last 2 games.
If I'm going on that list, I'm going contract first. $90 million should be number 1 on that list.
Collison kicked it, so it's still going to be Laker ball. Bryant has been one of the most durable players. 235 consecutive game streak come to an end. Again, so much during the summer as well, playing for Team USA. And of course, this season goes 2 months longer than those who are done after the regular season is over, with 2 straight finals appearances.
And Mike, something Mark was talking about Phil Jackson and his matchup ability. He wants Fisher on Westbrook, so Westbrook comes back in. Immediately, Fisher comes off the bench to match Westbrook's strength.
Shot clock down to 5. Single coverage, Ibaka. Gasol trying to draw it. Does it have a foul? Smart play from Pau Gasol. Ibaka's arms right in front of him.
Big guy that understands the game. Immediately sees, I got to get it off the clock, dwindling down. The swing move does not look like a foul at all as Ibaka's hands are in the air. Gasol still makes a tough one.
Well, I don't know if there was contact there. Gasol completes the 3-point play, and the Lakers back up by 14. Westbrook's the second leading scorer on the team. They need him to play extremely well. He's had a terrific second season in the league. Nice pass, Kristich, and Kristich is fouled. As Durant will return.
Great catch and go by Westbrook to use his speed and quickness to get in the lane, as Fisher had to help and then recover. He has to use his speed against Fisher.
Very interesting lineup right now for Oklahoma. Phil Jackson sees the problems with their size, brings Ron Artest right back into the ballgame, because all of a sudden you have size across the board with Durant and Green playing the 3 and the 4.
So the stars coming back in for Oklahoma City. You mentioned Westbrook, and he played 2 years at UCLA. He's born in Long Beach, California. He was a huge Magic Johnson fan growing up. In his first year as a rookie, you saw the promise, but he also led the NBA in turnovers. A big part of his turnaround this year was his decision-making. Cut back on his turnovers. He's strong, he's quick. They're letting him play through his mistakes, and it certainly has paid off. Bryant for 3. That's good. Kobe Bryant, 10 points, and the Lakers go up by 15 again.
And he looks fresh. He looks fresh so far. You take a look defensively, he's guarding the 2 position. All of a sudden, he switched on to Jeff Green, a bigger, stronger guy, balanced, front competing, and then his jump shots look live and good early on.
Bryant pokes it away. Durant splits, gets inside, blocked by Bynum.
That's his second block of the game. Bynum down low. Turns, throws it down. Andrew Bynum is back for the Lakers as the Thunder need a timeout. Standing ovation at the Staples Center. 6 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of block shots for Bynum. And the largest lead of the first half.
Missing their size, their dominant young big man defensively, the ability to alter shots, make plays, and then offensively. On the block, he's back. Andrew Bynum punching, posterizing, Nate Christmas.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC. It's on ABC. Brought to you by the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job.
Lakers have opened up a 17-point lead, just over 6.5 remaining in the second. Big reason is Andrew Bynum is back. It's proven when he's healthy, he can be one of the top centers in the NBA, but that has not always been the case, especially last couple of years with the knee injuries in 08. He did come back in 09, but wasn't the same player down the stretch. The Achilles had him out, but boy, he looks sharp today, Jeff.
He does. Again, the size of the Lakers makes it very difficult on Oklahoma City here. Bynum cutting to the rim, finishing over the smaller players, and then protecting the basket. And then I used to do this in North basketball at home on my brother's head. I used to take it right at him, just like Bynum did.
Are you telling me you used to do that to Stan?
Nerf ball. Right on his head.
We need to get Stan's version. Durant drives and gets hammered, and he'll go to the line for the first time.
This was my Nerf ball move. Deep paint catch, spin back. You know, I'm taller than he is, and wham, bam.
I guarantee you Stan's watching right now, wishing that we had a mic and wire.
No, Stan right now is in his office thinking of everything that could possibly go wrong at 5:30 Eastern against Larry Brown's Charlotte Bobcats.
Meanwhile, Durant is back to the place where he spent a lot of time this year. #1 in the NBA in free throws made and attempted. He made the 6th highest amount of free throws in a season in NBA history. The most free throws made in a season in 23 years, not since Michael Jordan back in 86-87. We mentioned Phil Jackson complained about it. Kevin Garnett also made some comments about it. As you said, Jeff, he just has a knack drawing contact. Bryant misses. Bynum tips it, and Durant picks it up.
The Lakers' defense today has been terrific.
Fisher with the steal. Bryant. Fisher gets inside, misses the banker. And here comes Oklahoma City. Green stripped from behind by Bryant. Durant inside to Kristich. And Westbrook able to put it in. Westbrook with his first points. Again, he's their second leading scorer. Averages just over 16 a game. Coming up on 5.5 remaining here in the second. Game 1, best of 7 here in this opening round for the defending champs. So far they look sharp. Bynum, foul! Andrew Bynum dominating down low. The Lakers backed up by 16.
Outstanding playmaking ability by Bryant. Creates space and then, like a point guard, gets into the seams, delivers the basketball on point to Bynum. Once again, long, athletic, the ability to finish at the rim. Had options. Gasol on one side, Bynum on the other.
Ibaka's second foul. And again, the Lakers have looked terrific. But we've said that a lot in the second half of the season. They have stretches, start games so well. The key, as Phil Jackson said before the game, can they sustain it? They didn't do it down the final quarter of the season, but they also really didn't have a healthy Andrew Bynum as well. Green for 3. And
The Thunder a little bit of that.
Was good pick and roll offense against the show by Bynum. His man rolled, sucked us all in, which left Jeff Green wide open at the three-point line.
Lakers shooting 51% alley-oop. Broken up by Kristich. A late whistle and a foul. Picks up Fisher. Westbrook now on Bryant. Fisher again. Durant's ball handler, that's what a lot of the coaches talk about, how good a ball handler he is, and with his size, enables him to create so much.
Well, his assist totals are pretty good, but his turnovers are higher than his assists. That's one thing he's going to have to continue to work on, is playing in traffic and making the right play.
Green misses, ball is loose, Durant picks it up. Durant was third in the NBA in turnovers. Nice feed, Westbrook to Kristich. And the Thunder back within 12.
You know, Mark, I like their demeanor. It hasn't been going well. They've been dominated so far by the Lakers, but there's no sense of lack of poise. It's very impressive.
Let's listen to a recent huddle from Scotty Brooks.
Foul them! Foul them! Chase everything down. Come off the screens harder. They're just playing. They're playing hard. They're playing harder. They're the defending champions, and you're letting them play harder. No, we want to get to where they are. We want to get to where they are. The only way we're going to get to them by challenging ourselves to play hard every possession down the court.
Well, that was his message all week. Play hard and play for each other. He says that he says it so much that his daughter Lexi, who's 9 years old, recently told him, "Dad, your team didn't play hard in a recent loss." He says it's so much around the house, I guess, as well. And that's his message to his team, and that was the message from his daughter.
When your 9-year-old daughter's second-guessing you, you got problems.
You've been there.
My goodness.
Bryant. Artest. That's a three. Well short. Good contesting of the shot from Jeff Green. Westbrook got away. I was going to say got away with a double dribble, but he didn't. 8 turnovers for the Thunder. Fisher, the old pro. Well, Fisher and Bryant themselves have played more playoff games than the entire Thunder team combined. Odom kicks it out. Gasol with the left hand, short. Westbrook, nice crossover, but couldn't control it. Kobe Bryant takes it away from Cephalosha.
And the Lakers have really caused the Thunder problems off the dribble, stripping them once they've beaten them off the dribble, coming from behind.
Bad pass that time from Fisher. 6 turnovers for LA. 3 minutes left here, first half. Durant. Kevin Durant now 4 for 12 from the field. In some ways, though, how poorly Oklahoma City has shot, 35%. They're fortunate to be only down 14. Gasol gets it deep. And is knocked at the roll. Odom right there for the rebound. Gasol, ball batted out of his hands. Nice save from Durant. Laker fans wanted a foul. Westbrook. Feed inside to Kristich, and he somehow finds an angle to put it in. Westbrook now with 5 assists. Kristich, a good player. When he first came up with the Nets, they thought he was going to be a big part of their future. Then he really had a serious knee injury. Left the NBA for half the season. And Cephalosha's call for a foul. And we're going to have a timeout. That's one of the stories of the first half, Mark. Andrew Bynum's return so far has been a success.
So making life so much easier when you talk about having his presence on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively. Also the ability to catch, finish in traffic, alter shots. Welcome sight in Laker land.
It's playoff time, so the stars are out. Although Khloe Kardashian always has good seats. Jason Bateman here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Sandy Garcia frequently here watching his Lakers, as is Terry Hatcher.
Of course, it's also baseball season. Major League Baseball continues on ESPN tonight. Tomorrow, first the Cardinals and the Mets. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell tonight at 8 Eastern. Then Lou Pinilla's Cubs take on the Mets on Monday night, presented by Sears Lawn and Garden tomorrow at 7 Eastern. What a long day it was for the Mets and Cardinals last night in St. Louis, where we were going from Cleveland to L.A. Carmelo Anthony poured in 42 points as the Nuggets got game one. A no-hitter from Jimenez, first in Rockies history. And then the Mets defeating the Cardinals in 20 innings. It was scoreless, for the first 18.
Yeah, and then who's the infielder for St. Louis?
The guy who won the game with the Grand Slam the day before, I believe, is the one that pitched.
Man, he could have had a heck of a 2 days in a row.
All I know is the Yankees won.
Oh, figures. So Bryant to the free throw line. Lakers now shooting 44% overall. As Oklahoma City's defense getting a little better after the hot start by LA. We've talked about it a lot, but you see that bandage on that right index finger. He's got all season. December 11th is when he broke it. His shooting numbers are all down a little bit. It's amazing how he's able to shoot with it. Westbrook's shot is good. Mark, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. But that's a guy that puts the time in, has changed his shot. The way he shoots the basketball because of the injury, but there's no coincidence. I love the fact he made no excuses. Struggling at times, doesn't have the same explosiveness because of the body being beat up, but here's a guy that made no excuses and just continues to grind it out.
He might need surgery on it after the season as our test misses. Westbrook hesitates, gets inside, count it, and foul. And there's Russell Westbrook. So strong and quick, gets to the basket and a chance for a three-point play.
I like the adjustment that he's made. It just cannot be the Kevin Durant show. They need him to score the basketball, pushing it in transition. A couple of times he's made plays for other guys. Now the mindset is, it's time for me to become a scorer. Outstanding athlete and can finish at the rim.
I like to make comparisons. Sam Presti, who you mentioned, the general manager, Jeff, was the assistant in San Antonio. And when they brought in Tony Parker, Parker at first made some mistakes when he was with the Spurs. Same thing with Westbrook, but Presti's going to be patient with him because he thinks this kid is going to be a terrific point guard for a long time.
Or he rebounds, he can get to the rim. The one thing that continues to, I think that most guys try to continue to get better at, as they force a 24-second violation, is his decision-making, which they're happy with his improvement, and then he's going to continue to have to improve his jump shooting ability. He only shot 41.8 this year and 22% from three. That's just not going to get it done.
His team now back within 10. Coming up at halftime, Stuart Scott, Michael Wilbon, and John Barry will have the T-Mobile halftime report. Take a close look at Lamar Odom. And we'll have LeBron James on Kobe Bryant. You heard Lisa Saltis talk about LeBron James. Gave Kevin Durant a text this week. Now tell him, enjoy your playoffs. I don't know if he's enjoying it so far. But the Thunder coming back. Westbrook pulls up. And what was a 17-point lead has been cut to 8.
That's why I think the better comparison to me when you talk about Westbrook is Gary Payton. The size, the strength, the ability to defend, and then improve jump shooting. He's going to get better as he moves on along his career.
Gasol, Shannon Brown, nice entry pass. Val Gasol has 9 points, 9 rebounds. And the Lakers had missed 9 shots in a row before hitting that. Westbrook left-handed. Pretty play from Westbrook. Westbrook has the last 8 points for the Thunder. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Bryant tries on Cephalosha. Back up top, Fisher. Won't go, man. Bryant's foul will not count. And that will end the first half. Kobe Bryant, the Lakers, hot start. As Bryant had 14, Lakers went up by as many as 17 as Kevin Durant
was harassed by Ron Artest quite a bit in the first half. But Oklahoma City, led by Russell Westbrook, a strong finish to the period. And it's suddenly an 8-point game. The story really for the Lakers was Andrew Bynum, and he's with Lisa.
Thank you, Mike. Drew, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 block shots in that first half. What were you expecting these first few minutes to be like for you back after missing 13 games?
Oh, man, my conditioning was a problem out there. I got super tired, but I'm just fighting through it, trying to get it back, and just playing as hard as I can.
How does the Achilles feel, and what has been the key so far to the success in that first half?
I'm trying to get the ball low in the paint where I can be effective, and then just trying to block every shot and get every board playing with energy and effort. That's what the coaching staff asked of me. That's what I'm doing.
Achilles feels okay?
Yep, so far my Achilles feels fine.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Mike?
All right, Lisa. The Lakers did miss 10 of their last 11 shots from the field. As we have the T-Mobile halftime report coming up. The guys back in the studio will talk about Lamar Odom and LeBron. We'll talk about Kobe Bryant. Game 2 of the 2010 NBA playoffs. The defending champs with Game 1 of their opening round best-of-7 playoff series. A hot start, but a very young, exciting team making a comeback. Halftime of the Staples Center. Lakers by 8. Regular season against the Lakers were down a bit from his norm. He struggled early on, but he got some help, especially from Russell Westbrook, who had a big final 5 minutes of that second quarter to get the Thunder within 8.
Well, I think Westbrook's quickness is their best matchup advantage. When he can use that speed to get in the gaps. He had 5 assists in the first half.
Tough shot from Bryant. Kristich the rebound. And here comes Westbrook. They want to push. He excels in the open floor and does it there, and it's a 6-point game.
That's why you want to close out halves. Everything going well, you allow Westbrook to establish some confidence and realize how he can be most effective to close out that first half. The first possession does the same exact thing.
Westbrook missed his first 2 shots from the field as Gasol knocks it down, but he's hit 6 in a row.
And they've been very effective high pick and rolls with Westbrook. So pushing it in transition and then high pick and rolls, allowing him to get to his spot.
Green finds Durant. Artest has been guarding him most of the time in that first half. Shot clock down to 5. Bryant on Westbrook.
See, that's where Sefolosha has to be more of an offensive threat. The ball came to him. He's wide open, and he makes an unnecessary extra pass. Kobe Bryant came all the way to the strong side of the floor. They reversed it. You've got to be a threat.
That's why you look at that play and you say, okay, Durant, take Gasol one-on-one. Well, he really can't because Bryant is zoning the area, so other guys have to look to be aggressive.
Let's check in with Lisa.
Hey, Michael, Scott Brooks was telling me, we just got to relax. We were really tight in that first half. He said, I could tell that our guys were tight because of the balls that we mishandled, and we were just missing shots that we normally make. He said, all in all, we played about 6 minutes, and that's just it, 6 minutes of our kind of ball. He said, that's the good news. That's what I told our guys at the half, that we're only down by 8. So let's just relax and do a better job this half.
How are you not tight if you're the Thunder? Again, 5 of their top 7 players, their first playoff game, and you do it at the Staples Center against the defending champs. Mark, what do you remember from your very first playoff game in terms of the jitters?
I wasn't smart enough to be tight. I think as a young player, you put the time in, you have extreme confidence because you prepared through repetition, also through paying attention to detail, and then you just let your head down and play, especially when you have the type of game of a Kevin Durant. You have a superstar on your team. The world is against you. Everybody predicts that you're going to lose. Go out and have fun.
Again, they were a good road team. Their road record is the exact same as the Lakers' road record this year. Bynum with another block, his third. Westbrook gets it back. Look at Westbrook battling. He's a very good rebounding guard.
No, but you make an interesting point, and I'm sure Coach would agree. Things don't change because of the playoffs as the foul commit by Green on Gasol. They just don't change. Just play like normal.
You don't think they change in terms of the intensity of everybody, the opponent? Like, they're not used to seeing the Lakers certainly playing extra intensity, and everybody's going to be that in the playoffs.
No, I think you're right about the intensity part, but I don't understand why you would be more nervous for the playoffs. You're the underdog. There's really no pressure on you. You just play basketball. But the one thing I do think that's important is that you come to win the series. As Bynum, again,
They're going to wave it off. Ball above the cylinder when Gasol touched it.
So I think the critical thing for any underdog is thinking that you can win the series. Come to win not a game, but the whole thing. And this was obviously a good call by Monty McCutcheon.
And in that mentality of coming to win, you don't just want it to be the big three. You don't want it to be just Westbrook, Durant, Green. You have to collectively believe we have a chance to win this thing.
What is always interesting to see, though, is so many young players on this team. As Durant fires away, can't get it to go, Bynum the rebound. Is, which players in their first playoff appearances do they raise their level, and sometimes take a little while to get used to it. Bad pass through the hands. Actually, the pass wasn't bad. Through the hands of Gasol. Durant blocked by Bryant. Good hustle play on defense. And Fisher will set it up. 6 block shots for the Lakers. They have 6 steals as well. Their defense has been very solid. Artest wide open. Thought about it. Too strong. Rebound kicked a couple of times off Bynum's foot as Bynum and Durant bump heads.
And this is when you're an effective defensive team. Look at the effort to get back in transition. Not only Bryant, but also Artest and Gasol. Getting back transition defensively, contesting every shot.
Green halfway down before it rolls out. Cephalosha on Bryant. It's inside to Bynum. And Bynum flips it up and in. Bynum may have gotten away with a travel there. And the lead back to 10 for the Lakers. Bynum in double figures with 11. Durant trying to run Artest off the screens. And a defensive 3 seconds. Technical foul, 1 shot for Oklahoma City. Let's listen to what Scotty Brooks told his team at halftime.
We didn't play well going down 8. We're in good shape. We've got a lot of basketball left. One of the things that we have to do, guys, is just take care of the ball. Just take care of the ball. We're being soft with the basketball. We're giving them opportunities to even go more aggressive on us. We're up. Relax. We're all right. We're all right.
Well, again, that last possession, even though it was a defensive 3 on Bryant, it shows to me that Cephalosha, again, Bryant is disregarding. He's got to be ready to shoot. And make, not just shoot. No, because he's doing a very good job defensively, but you can't have a perimeter guy that can be disregarded offensively, particularly in the playoffs when teams game plan.
Bynum against Kristich. Green stays to help. Bynum forces up the shot. Won't go. Artest right there.
And Durant a number of times has not done a good job either securing a long rebound or staying engaged and using his side to get traffic rebounds. He's got to do a better job rebounding the ball. Here, Bynum's forced to take a tough shot, but Durant's not even close to Artest's body. Good activity by Ron Artest. Lakers up 11.
Durant seeing a very determined Laker team, Mark.
Now, these are the type of plays that give you goosebumps as far as a coach. You talk about a turnover offensively. And take a look at Artest and Bryant. Off to the races, not allowing Durant to get a wide open layup in transition or play one-on-one against Derek Fisher. The commitment to run back in transition to Pau Gasol, great job by you also. I don't control the truck. That's their fault for not identifying you.
By the way, did you ever get goosebumps on the sideline?
On plays like that.
I never knew that.
I wasn't cold. I was just like...
Green misses.
No, but you know what, Mike? You know what that shows? A will to win. And when your team plays with a will to win, you can accept the result. You know, you're not going to always win, but what you don't want to do is beat yourself through either a lack of effort or poor execution. And I think both teams have done a great job, as the lob pass goes awry, of competing hard here today. And that's the defense is way above average. Offense, not as much.
Talk about competing on the offensive end, the front, the live body, the bounce, not able to finish, and then trying to get after the basketball even more. I love the energy of the Lakers after the possessions have taken place.
Oklahoma City now struggling. Knocked out shots. They missed 7 in a row. Artest right up on Durant. Inside to Westbrook. Green gets a good look. And Cephalosha the rebound. Fouled by Fisher. So Derek Fisher picks up the personal. That's his second.
Again, I think Oklahoma City has to do a little bit more to try to get Westbrook into the paint. To me, right now, he has the best matchup advantage, trying to use his quickness against Fisher.
Cephalosha poked away. Kobe Bryant's done that at least 3 times. And another foul on Fisher. Saying, come on now, that's his third. We've seen, Kobe Bryant, he can be such a terrific defender. He's an all-NBA defense so many years.
See, I think when 2 players on the floor, anything should go. There should be no call ever while 2 people are prone on the floor. Doesn't matter what they do.
And that's usually the case. You can sit on a guy's head and you don't call it off him. Ball is loose. Cephalosha, wow. 53-42. Oklahoma City's missed 9 shots in a row. Ball deflected. Still late the ball as we approach the midway point of the third.
Part of the problem with Scott Brooks, and he decided to go James Harden as he made the right adjustment. Instead of fading away, made the move going to the paint area and got a quality look.
A minute remaining in the third. The Thunder trying to hang around despite a poor shooting performance from their star player. Odom, top step, flips it up, backs it in. Odom's first field goal, back to his 6-man role for the Lakers today with Bynum in the lineup. And there's a foul again. Boy, Durant just smart. Artest bellies up on him. And he's swinging those arms through to draw the contact. That's 4 fouls on Artest, and Durant will go to the line for only the 4th and 5th time. So now finally somebody in foul trouble. That little reach in kind of caught him. Averages 10.5 free throws a game, highest in the league. This would be numbers 4 and 5. He shoots 90% from the line, but misses that one. Our NBA calendar, 3 games tonight on TNT. Charlotte and Orlando, San Antonio, Dallas, and Portland and Phoenix. NBA TV Tuesday, a couple of game 2s from Atlanta and Phoenix. ESPN Friday, some game 3s from Miami and San Antonio. And next Sunday, Boston in Miami, game 4. And then LeBron James and the Cavs in Chicago, game 4. That's the amazing thing, all the free throws, and he shot 90% from the line. 62-54. The Thunder hanging around. Odom jump shot. Ball batted. Luke Walton able to get his fingertips on it. Walton his first minutes of the afternoon. Farmar to Brown. John and Brown way off the mark. Deflected. Collison, nice save. Final seconds of the third. Here comes Durant. Drives. Shot won't go, but back to the line again.
Luke, let me get there, man.
That's one of the reasons why he was able to lead the NBA in scoring this year. As you mentioned earlier, the youngest player in the history of the league, just over 30 a game. He just keeps getting to the line.
You say, how can he score so much? Well, that's part of the problem defending against him, his ability to rebound the basketball, and he can lead the fast break. Similar to Lamar Odom, but the difference is Lamar is more like a point guard leading the break. This guy is a scoring machine leading the break.
There are a lot of numbers that are impressive, but when you looked at, he scored 25 or more points in 73 of the 82 games. That type of consistency is incredible, especially when the opponents, that's the guy they gear to stop.
See, I think a lot of stats are bogus. That one startled me.
Odom. And Durant called for the foul. That's his second. I don't know the reason for the foul.
It's a bad foul to close out the quarter. You want to stay in front of Lamar Odom and force him to make a play.
And he thought he had a foul to give. And you're just not going to win big games making those type of mistakes.
You know, part of for the Lakers to have success, Bynum, everybody agrees they're a different team with him, and he's back. Now Lamar Odom has to accept less minutes coming off the bench. He did it last year. He's doing it again this year.
That shows his value. He understands he's going to get his minutes. He's definitely going to get his minutes, and he's going to have an impact on this team having a chance to win.
Final seconds, Durant. That'll count if it goes. Off the mark. Oh, he talks so much about Kobe Bryant and Kevin Durant. Some of the Robins to Batman playing very well. Gasol, terrific game. 15 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook, 19 points to lead Oklahoma City. 8-point lead for the Lakers as we head to the fourth. And this presentation of the NBA playoffs on ABC continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Thank you, Mike. Phil, you've held them to 56 points through 3 quarters. What do you like about the defensive effort you've seen so far from your guys?
Well, we're reading what they're doing pretty well. They're scoring off fast breaks. Our turnovers are poor shots. But I think in the set offense, we're doing a pretty good job.
For them, so far, it's been Russell Westbrook who's been carrying them. What do you have to do differently against him?
We have to get back and wall them off. We're letting them get in the middle of the lane, add to the basket numbers of times.
All right, thank you for your time. Mike?
All right, Lisa. Westbrook had 15 of 16 points for the Thunder through one stretch. The Lakers, after that great start, went up by 17 midway through the second, but have not shot the ball well since then. The Thunder's defense a big part of that.
And if I was Scott Brooks, I would have given heavy consideration to keeping Durant on the floor against Luke Walton, who's coming in cold, has not played a lot, to try to get him going without Artest on the floor because of the foul difficulty.
Meanwhile, Maynard knocks down the shot. Maynard, who they got in the trade during the season from Utah, has been a good solid backup point. Struggled a bit in the first half, but it's a 6-point game. Farmar connects. Jordan Farmar, his first field goal.
Patience running this set, getting the ball at the bottom, and he was very patient, allowing the action to develop.
Not a lot of starters on the floor right now. Shows you how important the bench is. Green gets inside. Bynum contests the shot. Ball knocked away, still loose. Everybody fighting for it. Out of bounds. It'll stay the same way.
So many big guys foul in that situation. I love the fact that Bynum took advantage of the rules, went straight up, contested without fouling. That's what you want from your big man.
Bynum in his first game back, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 block shots. Harden still without a point. Good harassment from Shannon Brown, trying to draw the foul and lost it. Shannon Brown is helped off the bench. Brown to Odom. Walton. Shot clock at 5. Bynum double team, takes his time, puts it up, blocked. Collison lost it, and a 24-second violation. The shot never hit the rim.
This is a small team, and you don't find too many small teams as good as this team is defensively in Oklahoma City, because they cover up for their lack of size with 5 guys swarming to help in the post.
Maynard sees an opening, gets inside. That one halfway down, still battling. And here comes Odom leading the break. 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. The Lakers had won 34 straight games at home when they were leading going into the fourth quarter. They lost on the final Sunday to Portland, leading going into the fourth. Farmar hits a 3. Big shot. And the lead back to 11.
It's right on target, knocks it in, and Kobe Bryant knows he's going to need Jordan Farmar to step up big.
Lakers and Thunder, our GMC Sierra game track. Great start for the Lakers. Oklahoma City hanging in there. Russell Westbrook a big part of that. Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and good balance from the Los Angeles Lakers. And strong defense from Ron Artest. Ron Artest was the big free agent acquisition, signing the free agent deal. Trevor Ariza did not return. He was so huge last year. And really, Artest's worth and whether or not it's going to be the right fit for him is what he's going to do in the playoffs. That's why he's here. So far in this particular game one, he's done a terrific job defensively.
He has, and couple that with great length around the basket with shot blocking, where he can get up and get into Durant, knowing that he has shot blocking at the rim is critical.
That's something Durant talked about. He says, hey, it's not about one-on-one defense. It's about the guys behind the initial defender. And certainly the Lakers guys have done a good job.
Nice move inside from Jeff Green. Artest resting now. He's back to 9. You know, you look at all the contenders from last year in their big acquisitions, whether it's Vince Carter in Orlando, Shaq in Cleveland, Rasheed Wallace in Boston, Ron Artest here. They were all gotten for what they can do in the playoffs. They all had their ups and downs during the regular season, but the end result, what will they do in the playoffs? Yeah, good ball denial from Harden. Luke Walton has to call a timeout. So a 20-second timeout call from the Lakers. Happy Town series premiere on Wednesday, April 28th at 10, 9 Central on ABC. It's about a small town with big secrets. A mystery's about to be unearthed. Welcome to ABC's Happy Town. Don't let the name fool you. I feel like our rides over to the arena every Sunday should be called Happy Town.
See, I didn't say anything. Is he riding with us?
Wow. You know, for someone, that's a terrible shot. Good followed by Bynum right there. I'm just surprised at the venom you're displaying today. This is Sunday. Be nice. It'll make your heart feel good.
11-point lead now for the Lakers. Green against Walton. Green struggled shooting early. Shot clock at 4. I don't know if Harden's aware. I don't think he is. Nope. Excellent Laker defense, but poor recognition from the Thunder. That's the third 24-second violation for Scotty Brooks' Thunder. As Durant back in the game. Serge Ibaka, Jeff Green, Russell Westbrook returns, and Nick Collison. Bynum the only starter out there for the Lakers. Walton the floater. Looks right to Ibaka. Here's Westbrook. Shannon Brown on Durant. And this is zone.
Now they're just coming over and doubled Durant when he was matched up against Shannon Brown.
Durant forces that one. It has not been an easy playoff debut for this young star. 5 of 18 from the field. You wouldn't know it by his demeanor. He keeps the same demeanor throughout the game. Although there's a little exhale. Lisa Schultz has reported at the top. He slept well last night before his first playoff game. Was so excited about it. But the Lakers have done a great job on it. And a reaching foul that time on Shannon Brown. Doesn't like the call. And there you see Durant well below his average. And Kobe Bryant, Ron Artest are going to come back in and try and make Durant's life a little more difficult.
If you're Phil Jackson, you got to be satisfied with the way that Shannon Brown and Jordan Farmer, they gave him quality minutes. These are guys that at times have been inconsistent, but he went to them early, and those guys stepped up today on both ends of the floor.
Westbrook kicks it out. Green able to connect that time.
But see, Kobe Bryant is just playing in the lane. He's totally disregarding everyone he's guarding, whether it's Jeff Green on the perimeter or Seth Losha. They're going to have to find a way. I think they should just shoot the ball. When they're open, just shoot it and then live with the result.
Bryant
Does it down the other end. It's Green to commit the foul. Kobe Bryant will shoot his 9th and 10th free throws of the afternoon.
Similar to what we've seen Kevin Durant try to do. The difference is Green is leaving his hand there. Artest was playing cat and mouse, pretty much bringing his hand back and then didn't get caught there. That time, Green leaving his hand there. Kobe does a great job of swinging and getting the foul.
You know, Mark, we talk about all these different things with the Lakers and what has to happen for them to win a championship. If Bryant is not playing at the highest level, if he's not healthy, it's going to be very difficult for him. He obviously wasn't healthy down the stretch, especially with the knee soreness. What have you seen from him today?
Well, I think his body looks much better today. Not shooting the percentage we're used to seeing him shoot, but he looks a lot livelier, and he's getting after it as far as posting up. Jump shots look well, but they need him to be spectacular. They need him to be very good and to take over ball games, or they won't win.
He missed 4 free throws here today. Artest once again, excellent job. He got some help. The Laker defense has made it so difficult in Kevin Durant's first NBA playoff game.
That's just great defense. Artest gets screened, but he continues to come off of the screen as opposed to stand there watching. And then helped by Bynum, allowing Artest to come back, get into the picture, and then active hands.
Artest wins the tip, but it goes right to Collison. Shot clock down to 6. Westbrook can't connect. Ball tipped by Collison. Durant, foul, shot won't go, but he'll go back to the line again. He's going to wind up with his season average 10 free throws a game. This will be 8 and 9. Artest, meanwhile, picks up his 5th foul. And still plenty of time. This can cut it to 7. Artest, the former NBA Defensive Player of the Year, All-NBA defense several times. Several years ago, there was nobody better on the perimeter. So with all the Durant struggles and all the positives for the Lakers, it's still a very close game. Durant total 18 points, getting some of his numbers from the line like he does. Crowd a little quiet here in the 4th. Lakers' largest lead was 17. Odom with 8 on the shot clock. Green now guarding Bryant. Bryant fires, puts it in, 3-pointer, a line drive.
Wanted the basketball, was frustrated and upset they went away from him. The basketball found him back, knocks down a big-time jumper.
Bryant 5 of 15 from the field with a big 3. Durant misses his 3, knocked out of bounds by Collison. Durant from 3-point range, 1 of 7.
You see the last possession, catching the basketball in the corner, Jeff Green one-on-one. Contest, little too late. Bryant able to elevate over the contested hand and knock down the Jet.
You got to get a new line now. Now it's hand up, man down. By the way, when are the t-shirts coming out?
They're on their way. Actually, hdmdgear.com. On their way. Impact and live.
Durant, a rare open look and gets it to go. He had missed 9 of his previous 10 from the field.
And he looks and says, finally I got it going. Great scores. You don't worry about whether you're making or missing. Just continue to get your look.
The thought is the next one's always going in. Odom, hop step 3. That's good. Lamar Odom with a big 3-pointer. And the Lakers back up by 11. Laker defense has been excellent. They're hearing it from the crowd. Collison open. Gets to Ibaka. And Ibaka wrapped up by Bynum. Second foul on Bynum. They're not in the penalty yet. Playoff defense a little bit different.
Well, especially when you're going up against the strength of Artest and the length of the Lakers. Good pick and roll defense by Bynum. Continuing to fight by Artest, and then good hand up That's an unusual result for Kevin Durant, struggling down 11.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals. The NBA playoffs on ABC, brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Sellout crowd at the Staples Center for Game 1 of the Lakers, what they hope is a long playoff journey. They've had a tough battle with Oklahoma City. The key, the defense on Kevin Durant.
So Ron Artest did a good job all game long, keeping a body on Kevin Durant, making him work for everything, contesting every shot in transition, got help by committee. They build the wall, they contested everything. Artest time and time again trapped, used the strength, frustrating Durant, and when he wasn't on Durant, other guys stepped up and did not allow him to get it going. Totally complete job by Artest and the Lakers defense of making Durant work.
We talk so much about the Lakers and all their offensive potential. This year they were 18th in the league in shooting, in field goal percentage. But their defense has really helped them out during stretches of the season, and it's been the key today.
They scored 5 less points a game this year, and they were still able to win 57% of their games, and that's because of their defense and rebounding.
Allison backs it in and a foul. Every time it looks like the Lakers might pull away, Oklahoma able to hit his third three-pointer, and it's back to 10. I want to correct myself. Serge Ibaka is the third youngest of 18. You still want to recruit some of the siblings?
I'm taking the two below.
Westbrook. Kobe Bryant now guarding Durant. Green draws the foul. Bryant upset with the call as he picks up his fifth. And this is the perfect scenario for the Thunder now to try and score some points with the clock stopped.
One thing to me, Coach, that's pretty obvious. The other Thunder players have got to find a way to be aggressive on the offensive end because the Lakers are ignoring anybody not named Westbrook or Durant. And if I'm Jeff Green, I'm thinking offensively I've got to be aggressive.
But he's been so good defensively that he's just got to couple that with some makes, and that's a foul right there. But I just think, you know, it's hard to imagine because Ibaka and Collison, they're not going to throw the ball into the low post, and it shows you the value of what the Lakers have. They have 4 guys or 5 guys. They can throw the ball into the low post and get off a quality post-up shot.
9-point Laker lead. They can take their time here with just 1:13 remaining now. Bryant looking to post up Green. Shot clock down to 5. Bryant drives, kicks it out. Gasol, jump shot. Well short. Collison the rebound. Westbrook finds Durant. Durant with the finish. 7-point game. He is very explosive at the rim. Hasn't been able to get there all that much here this afternoon.
Thunder deciding not to foul, but I understand that. But at least trap, you got to force the issue. Not a lot of time left in this ball game to allow the Lakers to dwindle it down.
Odom flips up a wild shot and an offensive foul. Collison draws another charge as Odom is fouled out. Now does Oklahoma City have to look for threes right away, correct, with 35.5?
No question to me. They've got to either advance it off a timeout or blow it up in transition and try to suck the defense in and get a 3-point shot.
So Oklahoma City calls a 20-second timeout. It's their ball. Down 7 with 35.5 seconds remaining. This game one in Denver last night. Denver beating Utah. We've got 2 more game 1s in the West. Phoenix hosting Portland and Dallas hosting San Antonio here on the second day of the 2010 NBA playoffs. And you got to give Oklahoma City a lot of credit. Their best player having a nightmare shooting in his playoff debut. They haven't played particularly well shooting the basketball, yet they're hanging with the defending champs here at the Staples Center pretty well.
Well, it's because they've defended exceptionally hard and exceptionally well. And give the Lakers credit, too. They've had a real struggle offensively as well, but they have guarded started exceptionally well as well.
And if you're the Thunder, you take some good things away from this ball game, realizing if we can just find a way to score the basketball, we can come up and be very competitive in this series. Interesting thing, Phil Jackson decides to put in Andrew Bynum as Lamar Odom fouls out rather than going small to try to match up to the Thunder.
Westbrook, Green, Collison, Harden, and Durant out there for the Thunder. Green breaks free, steps back, and he travels. No margin for error now for the Thunder, and that turnover certainly hurts.
That's a well-designed play, but also a very good call. Clearly a travel.
15th turnover. Been a tough afternoon for Green, 4 of 12. What a superb year he's had. As Harden now fouls Bryant. And the Lakers can wrap this one up at the free throw line. All right, you're Scotty Brooks, and it looks like the Lakers are going to hold on. What's your message to your team after this one?
I'm going to think about it for a day because my team played exceptionally well defensively. But where can we, from an offensive standpoint, generate enough points to win on the road? And I think that's sometimes hard because, again, no low post threat, no three-point shooting game. And so they're very reliant on Westbrook and Durant to hit home runs every night.
And if I'm Scott Brooks, I say that one's on me, fellas. Because we got it done defensively, I've got to find a way to put you guys in a position where we can score points against this Laker team.
There you see Westbrook had a good scoring game. Durant scored a lot at the free throw line, but struggled from the field as Gasol puts it back up to 9 with a half-minute remaining. Durant, catch, fires, nearly backs it in. Rebound taken by Collison. Collison blocked by Gasol. Afternoon long, the Laker defense has been excellent. That's their 9th block shot. And Gasol with 3 of them, Bynum with 4. Kobe Bryant had a couple. Durant trying to get free. Westbrook again, lost it from behind. Tough shot, banks it in. Pretty impressive playoff debut for Russell Westbrook, and a foul on Bryant. So Westbrook picks up his 3rd. What you said before, Jeff, for the Lakers, it's kind of a grinded out game for them. They only shot 41%. So any win, obviously, in the playoffs is a good win. And they came into the playoffs with a lot of their fans here in Lakerland very concerned with the way they finished the regular season.
And like you said, Mike, you're going to win playoff games in all different manners. Not all are going to be blowouts. Not all are going to be masterpieces. You take them as they come. I was very impressed with the energy and intensity of the Lakers today for the full 48 minutes.
The win is obviously the best thing to take away from it. Probably the second best is Andrew Bynum's performance. For him to miss the last 13 games, get a double-double with 13 points, 11 rebounds. Harden puts up the 3. That won't go. And the Lakers take game 1. Wasn't easy, but they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 87-79. A wire-to-wire victory for Kobe Bryant and his team. Kevin Durant, his playoff debut, just 7 of 24. Great defense from Ron Artest and great Laker team defense, stopping the leading scorer in the NBA. And how about the return from Bynum? That left Achilles, had to miss the last 13 games of the regular season, but he came out in the opening minutes, a couple of dunks and blocks, got the crowd fired up, helped them build a 17-point lead, and Kobe Bryant and his team held on. Kobe right now with Lisa Salters.
Thank you, Mike. Kobe, Jeff Van Gundy said, well, it wasn't a masterpiece, but it was a victory. How would you describe that game?
Yeah, he's grinded it out. Wasn't pretty, but we'll take it.
And defensively, it was all about defense for you guys. You held Kevin Durant to 7 for 24 from the field. What were you and Ron Artest doing against him?
Oh, he's trying to take away his easy baskets.
it's tough. They do a great job getting them open and freeing them up. So we had to work hard as a team to try to limit his easy touches.
And offensively, you guys struggled, but what impact did Andrew Bynum have in his return?
Well, we have 2 7-footers down there, so it's tough for them to decide what they're going to do, especially on penetration and on post-up. So, we just make sure our spacing is good, move the ball the right way, and get them easy opportunities.
All right, thanks. Congratulations on the win.
Just the first game of what will be perhaps a long journey, especially in a very difficult, competitive Western Conference. Lakers take game 1, 87-79. For Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Lisa Salters, and our entire ABC crew, this is Mike Green saying so long from LA. Don't forget, tomorrow night on ABC, it's an all-new Dancing with the Stars live at 8, 7 Central. Thanks for watching ABC. So long from Los Angeles. And they